Every year, 3 to 4 million dogs and cats, most of them healthy and adoptable, are euthanized in shelters across these United States. It's nearly 11,000 a day if you break it down. Every day people engage in what is known as animal cruelty or animal abuse. It's hard to say why these people abuse animals, but the abuse is systematic and continuous, and it's hard to keep track of because of the abundance of animals. Unfortunately, abuse often occurs in many instances because there's a profit to be made. And it's not just potential house pets that get abused. For example, most of the fur in the US comes from China, where every year, cats, dogs, rabbits, anything like that, they're bludgeoned, bled, hanged to death just for their fur. The worldwide fashion industry slaughters a combined 1 billion animals each year in the name of fashion. Sheep are treated like wool-producing puppets, as ranchers often perform inhumane operations without anesthesia to protect their investment in the wool industry. As recent as 2010, actually, it was estimated that 2.27 million animals were used for medical experiments in Canada. And about 100,000 of these animals were subjected to pain levels beyond the tolerance level of a normal conscious animal. Even here in the US, how many of you guys have seen the "why do you think" commercials on TV? You know, about the cigarettes, smoking's bad, don't do it. I reasoned that, humans are individuals, we make our own decisions, but what really struck me was one of their commercials that talked about how the people in charge of these companies take animals, dogs and rabbits to be specific, and fit them with inhumane breathing devices and force them to smoke their products, to smoke their cigarettes. Many of the animals develop emphysema and die. Because of the abundance of animals and because there's that drive to make a buck, animals are cruelly exploited and abused on a regular basis. Now, it's not just the animals that suffer, it's us too. Not only is that psychological effect there, I don't know if any of you guys remember the ASPCA commercials where, you had that really depressing Sarah McLachlan song. Arms of an angel, you're looking and there's all these really depressing pictures of animals, and to this day I still hate that song. Puppy mills are a sick scam that many fall victim to each year. Those who run puppy mills sell the purebred dogs for outrageous sums of money ranging from, $1,000 to $5,000, depending on the breed. The money paid to puppy mills only keeps the vicious cycle going, and millions of dogs are abused each year. Now, my dog was rescued in a joint raid from local authorities and the Humane Society. It was an undercover operation, and he was rescued from a puppy mill where there were 4 people caring for 2,500 dogs part-time. My dog was fortunate enough in that they rescued him before it was too late. If you don't mind that melodramatic statement, it's very much true. He was shipped to a shelter where my family and I met him, adopted him, nursed him back to health, all for a small fee and nothing more. I'm immensely proud today to say that I rescued him, that we rescued him. And no $5,000 dog can match what it's giving our family. I felt really good about that, My family and I had adopted animals, we raised them, we gave them second chances at life, so to speak. I felt like I'd done a good deed for society. I wasn't fully satisfied, though. The things I'd learned about animal cruelty through all this research I'd done, the things that my mom had told me sort of incited this passion in me, made me want to learn more, do more, and that's where the dream big and do it theme comes in. See, I realized that, adopting pets, rescuing them is great, but if I really wanted to consider myself a real animal lover that fought against animal cruelty, I'd have to do a little bit more than I was currently doing. I began working at my local animal shelter about 2 years ago, but since I wasn't yet 18, I couldn't get a lot of hands-on interaction with the animals. However, what I learned from that experience was that there were those willing to fight animal abuse like I was. The Humane Society was a great example, and it was the Washington Humane Society, right here on Georgia Avenue in DC, that helped me take my dream to the next level. Not really knowing what I was getting into, I decided to go through the process of becoming a kitten fostering partner. In the end, I was rewarded with 4 3-week-old kittens that came into my house in the last week of August. They were really cute, probably about a pound each, extremely small, and I just loved them to death. I watched them, I fed them, watered them, played with them. I took them to vet appointments, cleaned the litter box, did all the dirty work, and they were mine for a few months. My family and I gave them the experience of being in a home that they needed to be deemed fit for adoption. They were cute, but the real reward wasn't, just having 3 cute kittens, if you believe me. The real reward was the fact that none of these kittens went back to Georgia Avenue. We found homes for all three of them. We found loving families that wanted them, that needed the kittens, and the kittens needed them. See, the issue behind these kittens, actually, was that they were part of a feral colony in D.C. Does anyone know what a feral colony is? Anyone? Maybe? Okay. A feral colony is a colony of about 3 to 25 cats together, living in the wild or the city. And they live together and they share, maybe a common food source, common drinking source. They usually don't survive for a variety of reasons. There's constant fighting. There's constant disease in the feral colony. And the sad part is that these feral colonies are very abundant in major cities like Washington, D.C. Saving these animals from a certain death, these animals that had given the shelter a sudden influx in need for adopting parents, was all the reward I was asking.